जैक ग्रिलिश का मैन सिटी करियर इज डन। क्लब वर्ल्ड कप हैज ऑलरेडी स्टार्टेड, ठीक है, एंड पेप गार्डियोला ने अपना सिटी का स्क्वाड भी नेम कर लिया है, जिसमें फॉरवर्ड्स हैं लाइक अर्लिंग हालैंड, उसमें उमा मार्मुश है, उसमें रॉड्री है जिसने एक एसीएल के कारण पूरा सीजन मिस किया, एंड इट आल्सो इंक्लूड्स 4 न्यू साइनिंग्स। रायन जर्की है, तिजानी राइंडर्स है, लेफ्ट बैक रायन आर्ट-नूरी है, एंड गोलकीपर मार्कस बेटमेली भी है। डिफेंडर जॉन स्टोन्स भी है यार, वाज नॉट प्लेड सिंस फरवरी बिकॉज ऑफ अ थाई इंजरी अपेरेंटली। ये सब है, बट एक प्लेयर नहीं है, एंड दैट इज जैक ग्रेलिश। जब जैक ग्रिलिश ने पहली बार जब सिटी ज्वाइन करा था इन 2021, उसने बोला था कि इट्स अ ड्रीम कम ट्रू फॉर हिम टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस क्लब। 29-year-old had joined Aston Villa on a 6-year deal, eventually costing around 100 million. तब का टाइम पे it was a British record signing, if I'm not wrong. And treble वाला winning season में he played a good role, to be honest. जीता almost सब कुछ है, alright. He's won 3 Premier League titles, he's won the Champions League, he's won the FA Cup, but ये last 1.5-2 seasons है ना, he has fallen down the pecking order. And अगर game time wise देखोगे तो this last 2 seasons with Man City has been a nightmare for him. Mixture of injuries, below par performances have limited Grealish to almost like 17 Premier League starts in 2 seasons यार. And due to this lack of minutes उसको Euro 2024 में squad में भी जगह नहीं मिला. 2024-25 में he played just 715 minutes of Premier League football, which is like 19 appearances, जिसमें खाली 1 goal and 1 assist था, and he barely started 7 odd games in the recently concluded campaign. The writings on the wall तभी हो गया था when he was an unused substitute in the FA Cup final against Crystal Palace. एंड वो लास्ट ईयर वाला FA Cup फाइनल में भी वो पिच पे नहीं आया था when they lost against Manchester United in 24. That's back-to-back FA Cup finals where you need a goal and you don't use him. I mean, in matches like this, when you need some sort of a creative outlet and you don't utilize the likes of Jack Grealish is beyond my understanding. Shea Given ने बोला कि when he plays, he's a mannequin on the wing and just told to keep the shape. Kevin De Bruyne is leaving in the summer and Jack Grealish is the perfect replacement to play in the middle. But after what has happened, he maybe perhaps won't play for the club again. He might have already played his last game for Man City and हम लोग को पता भी नहीं चला. But the thing is, the first thing that needs to be said at this point is, fair enough, 100 million है, ठीक है, and with 100 million you'd be getting or buying yourself a generation defining player. Instead, apart from one superb season in the treble wala winning season, basically Grealish never really came close to justifying his 100 million worth. जो faith उन्होंने दिखाया उसके ऊपर, I think वो कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा कम पड़ गया whilst repaying. A record of 12 goals and 12 assists in 4 Premier League seasons with Manchester City. I think that should tell you the whole story. But इसमें क्या गलती जैक ग्रिलिश की है? Not entirely though. ठीक है, जब वो ज्वाइन करा, he was forced to adjust his game basically कि नहीं, you focus more on recycling possession, you fouls जीतो, duels जीतो, जो थोड़े बहुत वो tricks and skill दिखा के he used to cut inside during his Villa days, producing moments of magic, वो सब उसको करने के लिए मना किया गया. And it's understandable because these were the compromises that were necessary to take Grealish from that level to a next level above, which was Champions League वाला level you can say. And उसको rewards मिला है इसके लिए, ठीक है. He did end up winning the treble and all trophies basically. But वही है यार, you have taken a creative player and you have basically confined him कि तू ऐसे ही खेल. You are not allowed to express yourself. Think of it this way कि मतलब आप गाँव में हो, गाँव में आप खेती में गए हो नंबर 2 करने, ठीक है, हगने बेसिकली, खुली छूट है आपको, फुल फ्रीडम है, देयर इज नो कन्फाइनमेंट. एंड कंपेयर टू दैट यू आर इन अ 5-star होटल जहां पे आपको जेट भी नहीं है, पानी भी नहीं है, यू जस्ट हैव टू यूज अ पेपर टॉवल एंड यू हैव टू सिट ऑन अ कमोड. के दोनों का पर्क्स अलग-अलग है, बट क्रिएटिव फ्रीडम इज बेसिकली व्हाट आई वाज ट्राइंग टू हिंट एट. देयर इज अ सर्टेन आयरनी यार. आई मीन, मैन सिटी को अभी जैक ग्रिलिश और विला वाला डेज चाहिए, दैट 2019 वाला जैक ग्रिलिश, दैट 2020 ऑफ एस्टन विलास जैक ग्रिलिश. दैट इज व्हाट मैनचेस्टर सिटी नीड राइट नाउ एंड नॉट द जैक ग्रिलिश that is currently present, especially with Kevin De Bruyne leaving. I think वो midfield वाला जो whole cam position है, that creator वाला role, I think Jack Grealish should have been perfect for it, but unfortunately it has not worked out. May वाला Fulham game ना, जब City did not use Jack Grealish, तब जब पेप को पूछा गया था कि what about Jack Grealish, तब उसने he had given a rather impassioned response कि he was the one who fought for him to come here, he was the person who fought for him to stay here and this season.
Who said I'm not happy with him.
And the person who fought to come here and fought to stay here this season and the previous season.
Interesting, but being left out of the Club World Cup and लगातार back to back FA Cup finals में उसको use नहीं करना and latest जो भी उसके comments आए हुए हैं मीडिया में, it suggests that the two parties are basically looking to go their separate ways this summer. But the question is कि कौन punt लेगा on Jack Grealish because he's a big earner. ठीक है, 300k pounds per week उसके wages हैं. Loan move लग रहा है most likely. ठीक है, with City paying a portion of the salary seems the most likely option. But there is now a consensus that this is the right time to move on. ठीक है, particularly given that Guardiola ने बार बार कहा है कि definitely needs to trim his squad. He needs a smaller squad to work with. And I think Grealish is in agreement. ये बात उसको भी पता है कि after a difficult season on and off the field, he believes it would be best for him to focus on his future and find a new club. That raises the question of where Grealish, who has 2 years now left in his contract, would go next. ठीक है, he's open to all options, but उसके भी preferences होंगे. Reports आ रहे थे कि Grealish wants a clean break and a permanent new home rather than a loan move, जैसे आपका मार्कस रैशफोर्ड ने करा, जैसे आपका जेडन सैंचो ने करा. This route Grealish does not want to take apparently. दो क्लब मुझे लग रहे हैं कि जहां पे वो जा सकता है एंड जाना चाहिए. अगर मैं जैक होता तो, अगर मैं उसके जगह पे होता बेसिकली. One is Tottenham Hotspur and one is Newcastle. So जाएगा कहां जैक ग्रिलिश? I think he would be open to staying in the Premier League for sure. ये उसका पहला प्रायोरिटी होगा. And professionally and personally speaking, he would also want to keep playing at the highest level possible, preferably in the Champions League, है ना? Which Newcastle and Spurs can provide. Na, Spurs new manager Thomas Frank, they're looking to sign Mbeumo as well. Madders have Son again past his prime. Trophy भी जीत गए and Newcastle भी है. I think you'd really do well at Newcastle under Eddie Howe. You'd thrive in that system and I believe कि Eddie Howe generally likes to work with pacey wingers like आपका हो गया Harvey Barnes हो गया या फिर आपका Gordon हो गया. But Grealish would be something of an X factor for them. I also believe that he would not rule out a move to the continent. Barcelona, Milan, Napoli सब mention किए गए हैं, but Napoli I think obviously can be ruled out. They have gone for KDB. Milan are going for Luka Modric, and Barcelona I think the interest has also waned over there. Dortmund could be a potential option. They have historically known to give chances to Englishmen, and हाल ही में they have signed Joe Bellingham. His wage is a major hindrance यार. His weekly wages is a major hindrance. 300k earn करता है, वो pay cut लेगा नहीं लेगा, that is yet to be seen. ठीक है, but that is a figure again very few clubs in world football would be willing to match. बहुत जन बोल रहे हैं कि he could go back to Villa, but what they also don't know is कि Villa also have the biggest wage issue in the league right now. ठीक है, in 2024 their wage to revenue ratio was 91% and they are also heavily focused on reducing that wage bill this summer because they could not get back into the Champions League. Bit of a fire sale चलेगा वहाँ पे. Plus, is he really the kind of player that Unai Emery really wants in his squad? Fan favorite है, club legend है, bit of a cult figure भी है, but I don't think he would fit into the Emery वाला system. Plus, they would not be able to afford him. Newcastle मुझे लग रहा है best bet यार. Newcastle is definitely मुझे लग रहा है कि it would be a win-win for all parties. Spurs का भी again I think 300 plus million कुछ तो बाकी है pending in terms of pending transfer fees, but they're also looking at other players like Mbeumo है and दूसरे players हैं. So it's yet to be seen would they really go all out and pursue Jack Grealish? That is the question. Personally speaking, I like Jack Grealish a lot. ठीक है, मुझे वो बहुत सही लगता है. मुझे वो विला वाला Jack Grealish अगर मिलता तो I would have taken him gladly in a heartbeat. But now he's 29, about to turn 30 in a few months. I really don't think is the right profile that Arsenal need right now. But talent है उसमें. I think he still has a lot to offer. He can still play at the highest level. He's played under Pep Guardiola यार. I think he should now at least try to and move abroad and see वो क्या सीखा है under Pep and क्या वो उसको implement कर पाएगा on the ball. Maybe a move to La Liga perhaps. ठीक है, उसका problem क्या है कि pace नहीं है. That's his only problem है ना. दिमाग तो है, football IQ तो है. He has the football minerals. He has a good passing range. He's good on the ball. La Liga and Spain में I think he would find himself more comfortable. I think थोड़ा tempo थोड़ा slow है वहाँ पे and he can use the speed of mind there better. Headlines हमेशा होंगे यार about Jack Grealish for what he does and what he doesn't do. I mean दारू पीता है तो न्यूज हो जाता है, वो पब जाता है तो वो न्यूज हो जाता है, वो सेलिब्रेट करता है तो न्यूज हो जाता है. I mean that's how fickle the fans and that's how fickle the media is basically. But it is what it is. Before I wrap up यार, मैंने CR7 को भी पूछा कि what does he think of the situation and this is what he had to say. Hey bro, what do you think of the situation?
I think it was inevitable. Not everyone has that same hunger, that same desire.
Okay, would you take him though?
But Jack is a great player. He should come to Saudi, assist me, so that I can score more goals.
Well, there you go then. Again, this is something just I wanted to speak about. Player whom I really like. Unfortunately, आर्सेनल में फिट नहीं होता, नहीं तो मैं उसको ले लेता. Having said that, I only wish him all the best. I hope we get to see him more. I hope he stays in the Premier League, preferably at Newcastle or at some other club. But yeah, man, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, come on, you Gunners.